obviously a lot of headlines about what Justin and that offense is going to do, but I think equally exciting is a few pieces you've added on the defensive side of the ball, and maybe the chance for this defense to really make a lot of noise this season like they did to finish up last season.
Yeah, it's a good group to coach. I think we've been able to really add the right type of pieces since I've been here. I thought we onboarded a lot of guys, 2 off seasons ago, and then I thought we were able to sprinkle in the right guys this off season. I think getting Eric Kendricks was a huge addition for us, and I think that you've seen that on display throughout training camp. And then I think that we've drafted some really good players that are going to help us. And I think you guys just talked to a couple of them, but we really feel like these defensive draft picks will help us in a role this season. And I like the team chemistry of our group on defense. There's outstanding leadership. We certainly have, some premium players, but the team chemistry on that side of the ball is great. With Derwin, Khalil, Joey, K9, Eric leading us, Low Gilman. Those guys are doing a great job leading the way. I think I'm leaving out Nick Williams. Nick Williams is a guy that we brought in who has been very impactful for us. And, and then we're going to get some guys off injuries that you didn't see a lot last year that we have a lot of confidence in.
Has there been kind of a transition in your 3 years from a team that wants to win to a team that thinks it can win to a team that expects to win?
I think that's fair to say. I think from the beginning our expectations were to win every game that we play. So I don't think our expectations have changed at all since we've been here. I think the belief since we've gotten here has grown. I think we established that belief in my first season, but I think it's just grown and grown each and every day that we've been together. And I think going into this training camp, I think this group has put in a lot of really good work, and now we're ready to prove ourselves.
And how does that spread among a roster?
Yeah, well, it takes time. I think, over time you onboard the right people, whether that's players, coaches, personnel, department, and you just keep adding pieces, and all of a sudden, you can really see your culture come to life, and you can see the belief that you need in this league. But, learning how to win together and expecting to win together and doing that consistently over the course of a whole season. So I think that we've, done a lot of good things for 2 years, but, this team's in a good spot to go prove itself.
Have you guys made a decision yet on who's going to be your kicker for week 1?
We have not.
When as in practice the last couple of days, did something happen in the game with him? Or
Just working through some stuff from practice last week.
And we saw Jamari was out of practice for a bit today. Do you know what's going on with him?
Same thing, just, being precautious, but nothing to worry about at all.
And then just with the kicker situation, are they both going to kick? Dustin and Cameron both going to kick on Friday?
We're gonna make the determination here before we leave for San Francisco.
Because this isn't your first time doing this, I would imagine you have kind of a goals plotted as to where you want to be at certain points of the season. Where do you feel this group is 2 preseasons games behind you, just a couple weeks out from your opener?
Yeah, well, this preseason game is going to be important to us. Finishing the evaluation on a lot of young guys and guys who are competing for roles on this team. So we're going to try and go to San Francisco and win this football game and give the guys the right opportunity to showcase what they need to so that we can make the best decisions that we can. And then, for some of the guys who aren't playing in the game, I think that we were able to finish training camp today the right way, knowing that we've got week 0 next week where you got to take advantage of 3 practices to build yourself up for week 1. So I'm proud of the way these guys have competed in training camp. I thought last week the work against New Orleans was invaluable. And then these 2 practices this week have been really solid work. So we're ready to go for Friday night.
We haven't asked you yet about the new bylaw they introduced with the 3 quarterbacks on the active roster and the emergency quarterback. It might be relevant just as you guys are making these final decisions for the 53. What's your overall thoughts on that and the philosophy about that?
Yeah, Daniel, it's gonna be interesting to see what teams in the league do, with that 3rd spot. And so we're certainly gonna, we've discussed it. We've kept 3 quarterbacks in the past, but I think, every year's a new year. So I think, in the next, 5 to 7 days, that's when a lot of these decisions are going to be made, and it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out.
And Mark Webb, I know we've asked you about him throughout camp, but just the fact that he's on the field here to end camp, obviously a big step for him. Just what have you seen from him, and how does it sort of factor into this roster calculus for you guys?
Yeah, he's got to play in this next game. This is going to be a great game for him against Kyle and his group and the way they play. So I think it's an important evaluation for Mark, but I'm glad that he's going to be out there for the game.
And then just
I was going to say, how important is this game also for a guy like Trey McKitty, who a couple of weeks ago you said needed to step up? It was going to be an important training camp for him.
Yeah, same comments for Mark. A really good evaluation against a good defense, a good front, and good linebackers who are athletic and that can run. So, going to be a good game for Trey.
Are you guys expecting Tito and Jalen to start the season on PUP?
I don't know that.
Did you get a good look at Keenan's bobbling touchdown catch?
I got a good look at it. Yeah, it was one of those catches that only Keenan can make. But then we got Mike making a catch like that today too, and then Josh made one too, and then Quentin made one. So we got a lot of guys like that you're saying, man, what just happened? Gerald made a catch today, and 7-on-7 that was like that. So it's all good work, and Justin can put it in places for things like that to happen, and it's great work for the defense because that group is just such a great group to compete against every day, and I hope the same is true for them going against our defense.
What have you seen from Quentin in his first training camp?
Yeah, just I'm really pleased with his development. I think when he first came into his rookie minicamp to now, just the improvement that he's made as a player. But I think what we've wanted to establish, and I think that he's shown it on the practice field, that he belongs out there. And so he's made plays consistently throughout training camp, really throughout the spring time, throughout training camp, and he just needs to stay on track of improving. This was a great camp for him. He showed really good stamina throughout camp, being able to be healthy throughout camp and work through all the things that you have to work through as a rookie. He's got real toughness. He practices really hard. He's studying. He's learning how to study and prepare. The learning curve is huge coming from college for that position, and he's just stayed steady, working through the mistakes, but I think that you guys have seen him, his ability to consistently make plays at this level, is exciting.
For previous practices with those, kind of extended situational periods, you had gone ones against twos. You flipped it today and had the ones against the ones and the twos against the twos. What was the thought process there?
Yeah, we just didn't want our twos to die because they've played a lot and our ones haven't. So we just wanted to make sure that they're able to go compete on Friday night. So wanted to make it more ones versus ones so that that our twos and threes can go compete in San Francisco.
Just one more question on the kicker situation. Considering Dustin's injury and how much time he missed during training camp, what is going to be the evaluation for you guys as far as the game? Is it going to be more based on what Dustin's done in the league prior? What's going to go into that evaluation?
Question. Yeah, I think all the combination of factors that you just said. I think their performance on game day, in the NFL during the regular season and postseason. And then what we've seen in practice, and so we got to factor all that in. I think it's a good, tough problem to have that we have two kickers that are quality kickers in the National Football League who have both proven themselves, and again, we've got some time to make that one.